Okay, thank you everyone for being here. I am the leader of the YAST team in Nuremberg, and I want to mostly tell you what is coming on YAST and the new release of this 11.0, and try to explain also some misconceptions about YAST. So, for YAST is really unknown to people in terms of they just use it, but we don't have a really big community involved in it. Most people know that it's actually the only successful configuration tool, because there is no other program in Linux that can do all this stuff. And we have also the advantage of having this graphical and text mode user interface, which is also not available in any other program. But everything that it does is like magic, and nobody knows how it works. So, do we really only have two graphical user interface? That is something that even I didn't know when I joined the YAST team. I learned better. Oh, this open up this back. Okay. There are people that just don't like to use user interfaces, and nobody knows that YAST actually has a command line user interface, for example. So every module that YAST has should have a command line interface. You can list which modules YAST provide with YAST-L. There are a lot of them. Firewall, is one example. You have time zone, 1,000 of them. And each module you can call it from the YAST command line, ask which command to support, and you could set up a firewall without actually opening the user interface. So that's one example of things that we should try to market better, show it. But even in the development team, sometimes we don't know actually the features that are happening. Touching the point about the community involvement, one of the reasons of we hear a lot when we want to get developers, they say you have this YCP language, and it's true. YAST has its own interpreter, own compiler, or own component framework. It's actually pretty powerful, at least the component framework. And what we're trying to do now is to allow the community to write the modules in other languages. Perl has been there for a long time and was really not used by the community much. Now we are trying to provide more. Since 10.3 we provided an alpha module to use Ruby for YAST. So you can use any YAST component from a Ruby script. This is still in beta stage. It can't do everything, but you can at least include any YCP module which provides an API. It provides introspection, so you can actually see what kind of functionality a module provides, and then you can just use those modules, and you can even use the UI from Ruby. This is one of the parts I would like the community to involve more, because we don't know how YAST should like in these new languages. Most of the expertise of the YAST people is still on the YCP stuff, and we would like to hear from you how should YAST look like from the point of view of someone developing modules. From the people that cannot appreciate the beauty of Ruby, we also have another languages which usually look like this, which is Python. And right now in the SVN repository, we have also a prototype of a MySQL server module written in Python. We know that MySQL server is a quite popular application, so we say, why not developing a popular module in something in a new language? This is now more or less blocked because the Python bindings we have need some features, and that's another place where the community can involve themselves and help us to bring this. Because I know that if we get the MySQL module out, written in Python, people will start doing more modules because it's fun to do it. So, what about the user interface? As you know, YAST provides this ability to write the module once, and you can see it in recurses, GTK and Qt at the same time. Since 1 week, we split this library out of YAST, which was a quite long process of 1 year. And now you can, just linking again this libycp library, libui library, sorry, you can create applications which doesn't depend in YAST in any way, which are able to show the UI in cursors in GTK and Qt at the same time. And this is something we want also to market a lot, and we want to write bindings for it for every language. We want to write tutorials. For example, right now the API from C++ looks like something like this. This is creating a small dialog with some layout, a label, and a push button. And if you run this from your X server, it will use GTK depending on your configuration, or Qt. And if you don't have X at all, it will just show up in cursors. The UIs are loaded dynamically, so the library, this library will show YUI only depends on the standard C++ library and pthreads and nothing else. Also, thanks to some hack week time spent by Kulo, you might know that since for the next release, our Qt interface supports branding, which is something, at least for the talk Jan just gave about Kiwi. If you want to create your own installation media, for example, with your own set of packages, you might also want to make just looking whatever is your favorite color, pink, red, whatever. You want to make the installation look like you want. And for this, the only thing you need to do in 11.0 is to edit a CSS file. And I think everyone that has seen the web knows more or less how this works. So you have some definitions of areas and elements, and you can define how they should look like, color and everything. If you go to the just2 theme OpenSUSE package, you will find the one we are shipping by default in OpenSUSE. You can take that one, modify, change the colors, or you can even set a variable Y2 style to try new ones. And with that, you can run the complete installer as you like. And the last point, which I know is everything you were waiting for this for a long time, is what happened with this topic? Yeah. If you know that for 10.2 we focused on making what was unstable in 10.1. For 10.3 we actually improved the speed a lot, but we still were slower than Smart and other friends. Memory usage was also a problem. All the optimizations that people did and the preloaded libraries were thrown away because as soon as Zipper checked for updates, it used so much memory that threw all the caches away. So thank you to a lot of people inside SUSE and actually out of the YAS team, we got to a new technology called the SAT solver. We just finished the integration. So in 10.3, if I use Nautilus here as an example because it's a program with a lot of dependencies everywhere and that I don't have installed, so I could see the result of the installation. In 10.3 with 23 repos, which is quite a lot, I think, it's a normal use case, I think, for a build service user. If you do Zipper install Nautilus, you will wait at least 1 minute or more till you get the prompt of what to install, because CYPP will start to get all the sources, repositories in memory, at least the dependencies, to do the solving. For 11.1, this is 9 seconds, or 3.5 if it's already warm, I mean the second run. The claps should go to Michael Schroeder, Michael Matz and his team, because they invented all the technology that is underneath the CYPP stuff. Yeah, Martin yesterday didn't believe me that this was the size, but if someone wants to see it running, I can show it later. That actually is actually the time. And the last thing we are going to also to have in 11.0 is support to manage repository keys. The build service changed from one day to another, defaulting from a global key to trusted repositories to each per repository. And now I accept keys all the time, and you don't know what you trust already, which not. You always were able to manage these keys just going to the RPM database and treating them as packages. You can install them, install another key. But just we provide now modules where you can see which keys you have, which you trusted already, which are in your system. These speed improvements come mostly because like the fact that we changed the solver. So the old solver was a really big piece of code that it came from the code of Red Carpet before, which was ported to libc. And for every new exception or case, we start to have another code path and turn it to be too complicated. And the new solver is much simpler, smaller. At least the algorithm, but yeah, only Michael understands it. But that's an advantage for us because we don't have to fix the bugs. But the solution it does is much smarter, and you will see that when you upgrade factory or you install new packages, it will suggest things like downgrades, which is really nice stuff. One feature we want to deliver is like for the speed, we now have these solve files, which is the cache basically of a repository. And these solve files, we will try to generate them in the server. So you don't need to actually download the XML files. So CWP will check if the solve file is there, and if it is there, it will get it and just use it. And if it's not there, it will just get the XML files and build the solve file from scratch, which is also really fast, I think 5 seconds per factory or something. And the last thing we are going to try to deliver for 11.1 is, you know, the desktop team has been with JPs there. They are working on trying to get PackageKit working for, at least for the GNOME desktop right now. And PackageKit is like a way to integrate the software management with the desktop using Divas. So there is a small Diva service which knows how to operate with the package management engine, and it provides a Divas interface so you can do nice stuff like, let me give you an example. If you want in the desktop to open a file, well, pictures are quite easy to open, but a strange format, and you get this window, which program to use to open this file. KDE could not install the application it needs to open this file. Why? Because KDE doesn't depend on apt-get or YAML or Smart. But with a Diva service, KDE could just trigger a request to this Diva service, which is PackageKit, and PackageKit would have a specific backend for the distribution it's using, and it would get this package installed. So it opens the door for a lot of new, nice stuff integrating your desktop with package management. For 11.0, we are working together with the desktop team to provide something really working, at least with the most basic stuff, working fine with CWP. Yeah. If you want to know at least why CWP is so fast, stay to the next talk of Michael Schroeder, who will explain all the internals of this stuff. And as a team leader of the team, I will request any people involved in OpenSUSE. YAST is really seriously lacking community involvement, and we need you because we need different ideas. We are really old team with always the same ideas, and we are lacking fresh ideas, fresh coders, people to help us develop the Python and the Ruby stuff. You can always just contact us in the mailing list, YAST-Devil, or the wiki page. We have all the information there. And of course, also there is an IRC channel, YAST, in Freenode, so you are always welcome there. And that is, thank you. Any questions?
Any tasks that non-coders could partake in helping everybody else?
Sorry?
If I'm not a coder, if I don't know Python or C++ or Secure or any language, is there any way that I'll be able to help contribute to the development of everybody else without being able to contribute code?
If you can't code, you can of course write documentation. You could help with the look and feel, for example. I mean, even those style sheets are done inside Novell by designers right now. But it would be cool if we also have contributors from the outside helping those people how YAST should look like. Usability is also another part where, I mean, most of the YAST modules are designed by developers, and they sometimes don't get it right. They are really complicated. And we have an internal usability team which usually do reviews of the stuff. Right now we are redoing the partitioning because it's quite complicated. There's some efforts trying to redo the sound one. I think printers are going to serious review. But community involvement in the usability of those modules is quite important. And I think it's quite easy, even if you are not a coder, to create a prototype of the UI of YAST This YCP stuff for the UI is really simple. And you can take a module, rearrange it, and then propose changes, for example.
The style sheets, are they only for the installer, or are they also used for the installation configuration after the running desktop?
The style sheet stuff is based on the Qt4 support. Qt4 is a toolkit supports completely changing everything using style sheets. So for installation, we use always Qt as the toolkit, and if you change the style sheet, you will affect the installation. If you later, when you are running, you want to see also, you want to set a style, we have it disabled in running system. But if you just enable the environment variable and you are using Qt, you will see it also.
Okay. One idea for community involvement I could imagine of is people creating visual styles for the running system that matches their desktop style. So like you have a repository for themes that people can contribute to.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay, then enjoy then the next talk about the SAT solver.
Thank you.